Hi there, it's Connie-Rae. Thank you for joining me at StampItYourselfAustralia.com. Today's tutorial is, well, today's crafty share is this gorgeous Moroccan Nights card. It is lovely. I absolutely adore it. I love the way that I've used these colours together, and I love how it's come out. Now, the sad news is this stamp set is retiring from Stampin'Up as of the 1st of June. There is some available in the inventory, I have checked, and this is the stamp that the set that you're going to be wanting. It's called Moroccan Nights, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I really wish I'd gotten it earlier before I retired. However, I didn't, and I have got it now, and it's not too late to get it. If you need stamped images, just contact me and I can probably stamp up a few images and send them out to you. But if you can get hold of this set, it really is a lovely set and it's really worth having in your inventory. So that's the stamp set that I have used, along with the new Hostess Your Delightful stamp set. And I'm using P.S. I Miss You, which is right up the top there. As you can see, that's what I'm using on top of it on the card. P.S. I Miss You. So that's what I've used there. And this is a new Hostess one, which will be available from the 1st of June. So hopefully you'll get hold of the Moroccan Nights, but it is a beautiful stamp and I absolutely adore it. Okay, so getting down to business, you are going to need some Sahara sand, and it's all right, I'm just looking for all my bits and pieces. Right, you're going to need some Sahara sand, and you're going to, where's my card? What did I just do with it? Oh, it's getting late. Okay, Sahara sand is the colour that I've used for the card. 11 by 4.5, scored down the middle at 5.5. The Sahara sand matte is actually 5.25 by 4, and then you're going to need another white matte behind it, and that white matte is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and you're going to need just a little strip, or about a 1/8. I think this is 1/8. Yeah, 1/8 for your little sentiment down there. And of course you're going to need that stamp set. So you, if you haven't got it, try and get it before it goes. Okay, so I've already done a little bit of stamping. Basically the border I have stamped already. Now you will need, what I've used with this one isn't Stampin' Up, it is Distressed Oxide by Ranger, Tim Holtz, and it's Iced Spruce, that's what it's called. I'll see if I can get the name of it there for you. Iced Spruce. And it goes really nice with the Sahara sand, and it leaves a chalky kind of feel. So it's kind of, I love it, absolutely love it, because I was just mucking around with it. Okay, so you will need a MISTI or a Stamp-O-Majig if you haven't got one, or whatever alignment tool you use, because you will need one for this particular card, because it is a little bit of a challenge to just, if you're good at lining up, you'll be fine. If you haven't got a MISTI, use whatever it is that you normally use to line up with. So basically the first part of the stamp set I've already stamped down, which is the border, and that border is, there it is there. That's the border that we're putting on right on the top of the card, and you just need to make sure it's lined up really well, and I've stamped it twice, so just like that with the ink, and twice. And be sure, if you have got some cotton buds on you, just to go around the edges after you've stamped on with the ink, just to go around the edges and clean up the edges before you stamp it. And I have stamped it twice, and I have done that twice, so every time I ink it I just clean up the edges, because it does sometimes leak over, and there's nothing worse than getting almost finished with your stamping and one image is just destroyed the whole card. So we'll try and avoid that if we can. So you need to be mindful of just that. That's what I noticed in this particular instance in doing this card. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put down our little lanterns, and I'm going to put the lantern as close in between as possible to the because it's got a little chain on it, and the chain looks gorgeous, but you want the chain to look like it's hanging down. But it doesn't matter because you can get around that one. I'll show you how to do that. This is a really nice Moroccan card, and it was really kind of, I wasn't really sure about this sentiment, and then I thought, no, I miss you, because it indicates you're kind of traveling, so that's, you know, interesting. That's all I could think of. It was, but I just loved the actual pattern. Now, as I suggested, take your time and make sure that your stamp is actually clean on the edges before you stamp it down, because I don't know why, whether it's the way that I'm stamping or it's just the stamp size pad itself, but my first couple attempts were ruined by over stamping on the edges, so I don't want to do that again if I can avoid it. Oh, there's one. So I have stamped it twice. Each time I've done an image, but every time that I've done it, I have cleaned it up around the sides before I've actually stamped it. So be mindful of that, just to be sure. And then you have to clean it up before you put it down again, obviously. Your baby wipes. And a shimmy if you've got one, or chamois, whichever way you want to call it. And again, we're going to go up the other end now, and we're going to bring it in just to the first little icon. So right at the edge, as far over as possible, but making sure that you can still, let me just turn that around a bit, just so I can make sure I've got the alignment right. There we go. It might take you a few goes to get this, so just practice on some inexpensive white cardstock or whatever you've got, some spares, just to make sure that you can actually do it without wasting your products, because there's nothing worse. It does take a bit of practice to do these kind of cards, but it does look beautiful, I can assure you. I love it. So if you know somebody that's traveling, it's awesome. If they are overseas somewhere, exotic. And everything Moroccan at the moment too. Everything's popular for the Moroccan kind of feel, isn't it? So now we've got the big medallion, and it's just stunning. So you just want to make sure you've got it lined up fairly evenly before you pop it down. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to ink it up nice and I just love the colour of this going with the Sahara sand. It just goes so beautifully. All right, again, just go around your edges. And like I said, it is twice that I used it. Oh, nearly didn't check my size. I know it's a bit weird, but there's nothing worse. Perfect. Okay, so now we can get on to the fun part of making it look gorgeous. Just get that out of the way. I'll leave that there like that so I can remember to clean it. Right, so we've got that part done. Now, just get that away. Now we need to, oh, you can, I've already done my little P.S. I miss you. So I've already done that. That is basically just, you can just use the Misty, just use the Versamark, and then use your heat gun, and obviously it fits perfectly on the 1/8 of an inch, and basically you can stick it down wherever you want to on whatever side. I have already done mine, and I used white embossing powder on the Versamark, so I didn't use the same ink that I stamped with. Right, just got to get this over here. Now some embellishments, and I think I used the silver, our new clear faceted gems, and these are the clear ones. I call them silver, but they're clear, and I put one right in the middle, which just looks amazing. And the other thing I did was I put some white ones, but I put the white ones up the top, but I'm going to change that and put these on the top. I just wish they were a bit smaller, but they're not, so that's okay. Just above the chains and in alignment with the border. See, so it looks like you've got this gorgeous, stunning, there you go. Don't they look beautiful? The way that comes out, they're gorgeous, these little faceted gems. They're so stunning to look at, and they make your images really pop. So that's really beautiful. All right, I'm happy with that. So that's done. So it's not a very long one today for this card. It's just probably because I've just spent 10 hours doing it. Well, almost 10 hours, but you know. I wonder if I should put another facet, probably in the middle. Sorry guys, I was getting ahead of myself there. I did have one in the middle on the first card, but I'm thinking a smaller one, but I don't think I've got one, but that's okay. We'll just put one right in the middle. There you go. Oh, that doesn't look particularly straight. If you don't like it, you don't have to put it in. You know what? I think I'm going to leave it off because it's a little bit too big for my liking. It's all right in between, but I don't like it on the top. I could put a diamante or a small. No, you know what? Just going to leave it. Because sometimes the more you fiddle with these things, the worse they become. Okay, so now for your matte back is very tiny. You've got a little border, so I would suggest just using Tombow to stick on your cardstock. Initially, use this one. Because that way you can get it straight. And then, of course, you can use your dimensionals because you do want to make sure that this one pops up. I'd probably use 6. To give it a bit of height. So I do hope you can get hold of this stamp set, Moroccan Nights, or something very similar. We have got some new stuff coming out, so Eastern Palace is very similar. You may be able to find something in the Eastern Palace range, which has just been released in the new catalogue, and the new catalogue is live as of tomorrow. So Oh, sorry, the first. Yeah, the first. Sorry, I'm up late tonight doing some extra filming, so do forgive me if I get my days mixed up. Okay, so now we've got our little I miss you stuck down on the bottom here, because it is for somebody who has possibly travelled and they're busy miles away from you. And I've just gotten a dimensional and I'm cutting it in half just to pop on the back of the, let me see, I think that's a bit too close at this end. And, oh, sorry, I'm out of camera there, guys. So I've just popped up some dimensionals on the back of the sentiment. Oh, wants to stay with me. There we go. So again, you're just going to position your as long as you've got it straight. Really, I might just trim off just a fraction on the end. So you just want to, let me just bring that in close for you. There we go. It's not quite straight, the piece. Okay. Just trimming it up so it makes it look straight and neat. And that's the card. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I really like this card. It's one of my favorites. So I hope you can get hold of the stamp set, because it is something that you can just do over and over again in so many different colors. So do have a look online pretty soon if you can. And thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and you have got all the things you need to make this gorgeous card. Okay, until next time, take care and hope to see you soon. Thanks for stopping by.